Okay, prepositions are always tricky, so let's have a look at a few more really typical mistakes with prepositions. We're going to do quite a few on prepositions. So number one, he was surprised of the news. No, this is impassive because, you know, the news surprised him, but he was surprised by the news. This is the most typical preposition for passive, for showing who or what actually did the verb, and it was the news surprised him, so he was surprised by the news. Yeah, just like we say the book was written by Shakespeare, or whatever, the play was written by Shakespeare, or the film was made by the Spanish, something like that. Okay, so number two, they needed to grow up their business. Now this is a phrasal verb mistake, and I want to make this really clear that grow up is only used for people, and it specifically means when a child becomes an adult. Yeah, he grows up. So you can certainly say, I grew up in Manchester. That just means that you spent all your childhood in Manchester and you became an adult in Manchester. And you can certainly say he grew up with his grandparents because his parents had died. And you might even say he was brought up by, yeah, the passive preposition, he was brought up by his grandparents, yeah, or he was brought up in Manchester, but he was brought up. So do memorize this phrasal verb, bring somebody up, and the noun is upbringing. Yeah, you invert the preposition and the verb to get upbringing. Yeah, a good upbringing, a bad upbringing, or, you know, his upbringing was deprived or whatever it is. But he was brought up in Manchester, or he grew up, not passive, in Manchester. Yeah, he was brought up by his grandparents in Manchester, but he grew up in Manchester, and that one will be active, not passive. Okay, so please don't use this grow up for things like, maybe even if it's a metaphor like this, we would say they needed to grow their business. Yeah, they wanted their business to expand, to grow. And here is another example of where we can't use up. Yeah, because we're talking about a plant. Plants don't grow up. Yeah, plants grow. So the plant was grown in natural conditions. Yeah, and so do not use grow up for things. It's only for people, and that's very important. It's a very common mistake. Okay, number three, all the family laughed on him. No, all the family laughed at him, we could say. Certainly if they were laughing at him, they thought he was funny. Or they were making fun of him. That one certainly uses an of, not an on though. It's make fun of somebody, not on somebody. Make fun of somebody or laugh at somebody. Okay, so memorize those two prepositions. Okay, number four, you have to find out what someone is good in. This is almost correct. It's only the last word which is wrong. Yeah, you have to find out what somebody is good at, because we say good at and bad at. Yeah, not good in, bad in, but good at maths, bad at maths. Good at juggling, bad at juggling. Good at anything. Good at playing football, bad at playing football. Okay, so we use at, the preposition at, with good and bad, and we even use it with best and worst. He is the best at table tennis. He is the worst at chess. Yeah, and remember, it's the best.